Welcome back. We're talking about the growing protests in Iraq's capital, Baghdad, and the proposals made by Prime Minister al-Abadi to fight corruption and improve the quality of life for Iraqis. With me now from Baghdad is Dr. Mowaffak Al-Rubaie, former National Security Adviser for the Iraqi government. Dr. Al-Rubaie, thanks for joining us. Let's turn to that major challenge that Iraq faces right now, the battle against ISIL. The Washington Post reports that almost all the leaders of Islamic State are former Iraqi officers, including members of its shadowy military and security committees. Is Iraq now effectively fighting the army of former President Saddam Hussein, and was it a mistake to disband the Iraqi army?
By and large, you are absolutely right. And we are fighting the old regime. The old regime is manifesting itself. First, the post-2003, they were declaring that they were Ba'athists, senior Ba'athists, former regime elements. And after that, they started to say, we are Al-Qaeda. And now they are ISIS. Now, and probably later they will manifest itself in a different format. But this is what I call Ba'atho-Salafism, Ba'atho-Wahhabism. This is a combination of ideology of Ba'athism plus Wahhabism. This is a very strange combination. This is a lethal combination. And it's not a threat to the existential threat to Iraq only, but to Iraq, Syria, the whole Middle East, and Europe in particular. Because Iraq and Syria is at the southern flank of NATO countries. And I believe this is true. We are fighting Ba'athism, we're fighting Wahhabism, and this, unfortunately, this virus, this malignant cancer, has infected the hearts and minds of some, the Sunni community. And we need to be really very radical and aggressive in our measures, in security measures, as well as political measures, in trying to include whoever is reconcilable and, eliminate, if you like, or liquidate all the irreconcilables. And we need to be brave enough to include and win the hearts and minds of the Sunni community through legislation, through political measures, through economic injection of cash in the local economy of these areas, through looking after the internally displaced person as well. We have more than 3 million of them. 99% of them, they're Sunni Arabs who have fled from ISIS-occupied territory. That's why we need to do a lot for our people. And also, politically, we need to give those who are fighting on the side of the Iraqi security forces, on the side of the federal police, on the side of the popular mobilization forces, those who are the tribal fighters, tribal Sunni fighters, that we need to give them a political weight. We need to support them with arms, training, money, as well as give them to give them the freedom to govern the local government of the liberated areas, like Tikrit, like Diyala. We need to give them, those who have taken active part in liberating these territories, they need to govern them and invite people who have been displaced from these areas, invite them back refugees, to invite them back to their areas after their liberation.
Very quickly, Doctor, we have a few seconds left. Was it then a mistake to disband the army, the old Iraqi army, rather than integrate that army into a new national force?
Not at all. I believe the army has dissolved itself. I don't think anybody has dissolved the army. When the CPA order came to dissolve the army, there was no army in the camps, in the barracks, in the street, wherever they are. They've just dissolved themselves, and the camps and the barracks were occupied by civilians. So it was already divided, and people started to build houses in these barracks and camps. So I believe the army dissolved itself. and unfortunately, they resort to violence. They should have resorted to the ballot boxes rather than to start using the bullets against the new order.
Yeah, you say it dissolved itself, but it has reconstituted itself right now and is taking on Iraq and runs 1/3 of Iraq right now.
No, unfortunately, there are, as I said, there are so many mistakes were committed over the last 12 years, which has prepared the ground socially, politically, economically in these areas for the ISIS to come back, and for the former regime elements to reconstruct themselves in a gangway, in a terrorist organization method. Now we're facing a very tough enemy, and this enemy is combined of former regime elements, the senior Ba'athists, as well as terrorists from all over the world. The jihadists are coming through Istanbul to Syria and then to Iraq to fight the Iraqi security forces.
Dr. Mowaffak Al-Rubaie, thanks for joining us, sir.